I'm Sergio Genesin, and in this talk, I like to brainstorm on how not to build a dystopian world, a world where it's not the experts' knowledge, rather the opinions markets on the social networks guiding our advancement in healthcare. This talk is part of the Venus Road to the Winter Dubai project, a global initiative that is leading to the creation of a multilingual consensus document on venous lymphatic fake news free communication, gathering together more than 70 scientific societies and institutions from all around the world. We'll gather together in person during the once-in-a-lifetime opportunity of the Health Week of the Universal Expo in the stunning Dubai during the Winter Dubai meeting. The project started following the reading of papers like this one, reporting how more than 40% of the medical websites are actually presenting potential fake news shared hundreds of thousands of times. This is clearly an answer to the call to action of the World Economic Forum, defining the online misinformation as one of the 10 most significant issues we have to face. We are clearly facing a vertical reliability arrangement for which the top experts at the top of this vertical reliability are actually threatening their authority by the horizontal misinformation of the many not experts populating the web. This is hindering the highest level of education if we consider the significant number of groups calling themselves universities when they are, of course, no university at all. For this reason, the same Facebook created working groups dedicated to tackle this issue, understanding that the most influential on the social networks are the most influential in communication in general, considering that more than 1/3 of the population, according to this report, for example, is already present in the social networks. And considering also the alarming data showing how 67% of the population is actually getting news not from the official sources, but from Facebook itself. It is pretty impressive to see the amount of apps that are available out there to create and disseminate fake news. This is quite an incredible example, the one of abcnews.com.co. That sounds like the abcnews.com website, but in reality is of course a fake, so that people are convinced they are reading ABC News while they are reading fake. So how far are we from this dystopian future I was mentioning at the beginning of this talk? We clearly live in the post-truth era, as it has been defined, a condition in which we are more influenced by opinions rather than by objective facts. And indeed, the Oxford Dictionary is reported in 2016 how post-truth was the word of the year. But it was not the 2016, it was the 1688 when King James II was already fighting the false news, as we are calling them, and we call them fake news. And still from Great Britain, we have information that we should actually call them fake news no more, because fake could be a misleading term. According to the UK Parliamentary Group of 2019 on the topic, we should call this misinformation, disinformation, malinformation. Now, the disinformation, so the inappropriate information, can be done on purpose, so it is a malinformation to create harm, or misinformation done unintentionally. Whatever is the case, we must be techno-aware, I would say, of the issue, considering this is touching, of course, the most fragile part of the population, the elderly who are seeking for information on the web, but all the ages, even the most tech-savvy. If we see reports like this one showing how even the youngest generation is reporting fake news and sharing them, not really understanding that they are fakes. Now, the first goal, of course, is to protect health when there is something harmful around, particularly considering that misinformation could lead to a proper treatment delay and even to life-threatening conditions. This is particularly evident in this COVID time, in which even the Europol reported campaigns to stop the thousands of websites claiming to sell COVID-19 cures, tests, or vaccines. This is a time of not just pandemic, this is a time of infodemic, as it has been defined, affecting the vaccination campaigns, with clear reports from Italy, Spain, and Brazil. This is a time in which we understand that the fakes are shared far more than the truth, and that there is a rumor narrative for which the experts of fake news diffusions are actually changing the content on the same posts to keep them going around the web, They're even changing the sources of the same fake to make it more reliable. As health professionals, as scientific society's representatives, I think it is our responsibility to try to stop this phenomenon, connecting experts, informing patients, as per the line of the View Inter Dubai project. In this project, we aim to combine in a hybrid way automatic systems with also the human nature, of course, of the fact-checking. There are papers showing us how algorithms can be used to detect the algorithm dedicated to fake news generations. In a combination then of good algorithms and good experts co-working together to maximize the proper information in the venous and lymphatic field, creating a safety net against misinformation, protecting our venous and lymphatic patients. This is indeed the View Inter Dubai project, bringing together scientific societies for a consensus document in different languages, academic institutions for proper evidence-based data reports, patients' associations giving voice indeed to the protagonists of the campaign, using proper global communication channels, using online tools like the True Care project to interact and engage patients, general practitioners, specialists, and also experts in certification and regulatory aspects, to be reported in an open access website available for health and non-health professionals. This is indeed the True Care campaign, together reporting unbiased education, while providing also certification and regulatory education aspects. I invite you to scan the QR codes and engage yourself with the different surveys and questionnaires prepared for lymphatic experts, family doctors, and all the population. Touching also certification aspects, as I was saying, because as buyers, we understand every single day how much we are exposed to fakes. And this becomes particularly important when we are dealing with health products like compression stockings, wondering if they are certified or not, with claims like these ones not really supported by the proper evidence for that specific product, so that we don't know if the product is certified or not. Same for the sport products like this one, claiming benefits that should have the proper support by the literature, as the ones we tried, for example, to put out in public events like this one or this one that I invite you to enjoy in the dedicated journals. The same happens with the innovative devices that are constantly put into the market with the claim of a lot of time the mini-invasiveness, for example. Proper validation is required. Proper diffusion of education on the topic is mandatory, particularly starting from the medical rep line. The quality management, the regulatory aspect, the certification aspects are of paramount importance. We understand how easy it is to encounter the fake products or not properly validated products that could harm the patients, as per the report available even in the everyday literature we can find. And every day, indeed, we should ask ourselves if the device we are approaching is properly certified, but not only, if the device has gone through proper post-market surveillance. Indeed, innovation is fundamental to improve the healthcare management of our patients, but proper validation is needed. And the problem is that the vast majority of industries are of small and medium size, for which facing the administrative costs of proper validation can become an issue. And indeed, it is an issue, the one of putting into the market the devices that then are filing for safety notices, as per this paper. As you can see, more than 2,000 filed safety notices out of a 5 years period, with a 44% probability of a serious adverse events, in a significant percentage of cases associated with cardiovascular system, so of paramount importance for our venous and lymphatic patients. For this reason, the implementation of the new European regulations of medical devices is focusing so much also on the post-market surveillance, an aspect that we should be aware as health professionals as well. We truly believe that proper registry activities is fundamental to move forward together, co-working with the certification and regulatory experts on the topic, as it is of fundamental importance to stop fake claims of not certified pills and creams for venous and lymphatic disorders that could actually potentially significantly harm our venous and lymphatic patients. We definitely need a real-world data, and again, I think the true care can be a significant way to improve the data collection, engaging the patients, the stakeholders, and the different experts in the field. Because it's an urgent legal action also, the one we have to take against all the ones promoting fairy dust rather than evidence-based market of medical devices, of creams and pills, like, for example, this report we recently received in the dedicated website of a cream that was making this vein disappearing in 2 months, not requiring any intervention, and actually suggesting no intervention for patients, or claims of stockings that are not certified. With this, I hope our venous and lymphatic patients will go on enjoying surfing on the web, educating themselves on venous and lymphatic topics, but just using proper channels, staying away from fake news, or I'd better say misinformation. For this, I invite all of you to report eventually encountered venous and lymphatic misinformation in whatever language in the dedicated website you see over here. Remembering the importance of the topic, considering that we can find venous and lymphatic disorders in more than half of the adult population. This is associated with the leading cause of preventable death, that is venous thromboembolism. This is associated with the hidden epidemic of lymphedema affecting so many patients that must not be forgotten, as it must be not forgotten the pelvic venous disorder, the female varicocele, affecting so many patients as well. With this, I thank you for your attention, and I invite you to take an active part in this global project leading to the venous lymphatic fake news-free document of consensus of the V-Winter Dubai 2022 meeting. Looking forward for being once again together in person as per the nice experiences as witnessed by this picture of the Winter 2019 meeting, eventually also with some social distancing as we will enjoy in the beautiful desert in front of the stunning Dubai. I will conclude with a nice quote of Mark Twain talking about traveling around the world with proper evidence. A lie can travel halfway around the world while the truth is still putting on its show. With this, again, I hope to see you all soon in Dubai or somewhere else in the world with proper evidence-based promotion. Thank you.